guys, how's everybody doing today? So I have gotten a couple things done since my last video. I'd like to formally apologize for the unprofessional appearance of my first video. I was trying to figure everything out, get used to the recording software. It was kind of broken up, and that really came out in the piecing together of all of the clips that I had. So I hope that this works out a little bit better. I'm going to be cutting in and out again today, trying to make sure that the recording is going well. But I'd like to give you a little tour of what I've done so far, very quickly. So we spawned over here, off in the sunset, and since then we made our way this way, attracted initially by that mushroom right there. Very cool to see it fully grown in the wild. These two right here caught our eye in our first episode. We moved our way over here, and we set up a very quick little base here. We used a bunch of these large trees here to kind of frame a structure. Used a different color wood here just to wall ourselves in. Set up our little bed, some furnaces, a chest, and there you go. Threw some torches up, so a little safe place to sleep. Easy peasy. Now, off camera here, I have jumped into the nether very briefly. I don't think we're going to check that out today, or right now at least. There was a point where I had stashed some lava down there in order to make this here. So this is what I'm using right now as a very quick automated food dispenser type situation. So what's going on here? We've got a bunch of chickens up top, and then down here we have some baby chickens on top of a stone slab, which is on top of the hopper that is pushing food into this chest. So the chickens up top are laying eggs into some hoppers at the back there. Might be difficult to see. Maybe we should, let's do some of this. Perfect. Okay, so the chickens are up top here, and these three, behind these three blocks are hoppers, and these hoppers are pointing into a dispenser right here. So you can't really see them from here. And so what's going on here is the dispenser is recognizing when something is inputted into it, and then it's sending a pulse through this circle, I guess, this little circuit, and then activating itself again to dispense the eggs, which is what's being dropped by the chickens on top, onto this little platform. And because they are not quite tall enough to hit the lava as baby chickens, as chicks, I guess, they are alive, but once they grow up, they'll hit the lava, and the cooked chicken in feathers will fall into this chest here. Pretty basic stuff. There are a lot of tutorials about that online. Okay, so simple little project put together there, and it's slowly but surely producing me with some food, by far enough for to keep me alive for the time being. This is actually the very first thing that I built when I got here. After putting up a basic structure here, I put together very simple egg collection system. Found some eggs out in the field, tossed them up here. These chickens are floating on a layer of water here, and they will lay eggs falling into this water, which will be collected into this hopper and go down into this chest. Basic stuff. I did this as almost a step one in preparation for this food collection system. So instead of having to lure a bunch of chickens up here, I was able to do this by throwing eggs, and I have a constant supply, so this should be able to develop very quickly if I feel the need, if I need more production out of it. So that is actually that came after. I'm lying completely. This is not the first thing that I built. The very first thing that I built, aside from my house, was a hole in the ground covered by dirt, which was in my last video, and I was using it as a starting point for eggs. And that has now been taken over by some cows and sheep. Basic things that I have found kind of straggling around, just collecting some wheat and luring them into a cage for future sorting and use. Overall, this is pretty basic stuff. I'm still quite limited on resources, so this is what I've put together for now. Some glass, some wood, simple stuff. That's probably very loud. Let me turn these down for a minute. Turn that whole thing down. Okay. Now, the final thing, something I spent this afternoon building, was something that I haven't really touched. Since probably my first or second playthrough of a single player, and that is this big guy here. And it is a mob spawner / collection system for that. Definitely not the most efficient thing I've ever done, and it took a ton of wood. It took me quite a while to collect the wood necessary to put that thing together, and I only died twice, falling off the top. So that, I think, is a step up from past versions of this. We're not going to go up there, but it's a very simple design, probably one of the earlier mob spawner designs. There are 4 big pads. The lighter wood underneath here, which is what I believe it's oak wood planks, those will be covered with water, and they are 8 blocks long to reach the end of a double stream of water. And so mobs will spawn on those pads and eventually walk off into the water, ideally, hopefully, and then water will push them down a large tunnel, which is right here. So the mobs will fall to their death, and the hoppers down here will collect any of the goods. So this is, I've just started up again, so it has not been running very long, but as you can see, I believe since the beginning of this recording, only 1 mob has fallen. So not very efficient, but I'm not really looking for anything in particular. There will come a time where I'll want to find more efficient means of gathering gunpowder or arrows, but I'm not really there yet. That was just a fun little project that I hadn't really looked at in a while. And what else is going on? So we actually have very nice terrain around here. The house that I have is over here. Just over here we have some surface lava, nice water, and lots of chickens and rabbits are in this plains here, or in this little plateau of flattish land. So I intend to do some cool stuff over there, and some trees that I never really finished cutting down, and I'm not going to do that right now. I'll do that off screen. And I was obviously growing a number of trees to collect resources for this guy here. And now the top of this, you can't really see it from here, but the top of this spawner I did make out of stone half slabs, because I was a little bit concerned about it being struck by lightning and burning down, or having to repair that after a couple of days and maybe not even noticing that it had been damaged. So I covered the top of it with stone slabs. Maybe that was unnecessary. Maybe I will thank myself for it later on. The only other cool thing that I stumbled across and spent a lot of time in was this ravine that we came across very quickly, or very briefly I should say, in our first video. And I explored it a little bit, died once, which was very, very frustrating. I got into a little scrap with some lava and lost miserably. Hello, lady. And so I lost mainly lapis and redstone. I'm not huge into redstone right now. It's actually one thing I'd really like to learn more about during this Let's Play. And so that was kind of a bummer, but if I show you my chests upstairs, I still have several redstone blocks, more than enough for what I need right now. But if we jump down here, let's see, this is kind of what I've been using to get up and down this ravine. Maybe we'll run into some fun adventures.